three viewers think of controlling.
Okay.
Hello, everybody, and this is Chaos Esports Production Tactics Casting with Chaos. Spotted in the bottom right-hand corner, we have Happy as the blue Protoss.
And spawning in the lower left-hand corner, it is in the red trunks from GG Kids. It is Muramasa. I wasn't sure how to pronounce his name at first, and then I was like, wait a second.
Now you know how I feel last time. I was like, wait a second, what is that?
Well, and then I'm like, well, I guess I could, like, pronounce it like a Japanese person, since it is made of all Japanese, like, character. Yeah, okay, I'm just going to shut up now. We're going to get into this game. Anyways, so, another PvZ on our hands. Definitely going to be very interested to see how this goes on the wonderful new Kirk Precinct, as it has been edited since it was first released at the beginning of Heart of Swarm.
Absolutely. No watchtower in this version.
No watchtower, a connected base.
Yeah, the top side of the third is connected now in this version.
Yeah.
And then
Happy's trolling. He's like, yeah, made a 9 pylon.
I have no idea how I am making this.
Okay. So throughout this game, we have to count the number of times he gets pylon blocked.
Absolutely. And then one other thing to mention with this map is actually considered a fairly race neutral map. It doesn't really favor anyone, from what I have had the experience of.
It definitely improved the PvT matchup a little bit. By the bases being like shrunk down a little bit. The photon overcharge does a better job.
Ending.
Yeah, basically hitting the entirety of the main base as opposed to just part of it. So it gives the Protoss player a little bit more security, but other than that, I haven't really seen too many differences in any of the matchups.
Absolutely, like there's a lot of open space in the middle of the map for Zerg, a lot of different pathways to take to get full-on surrounds and good splits, good concaves. There's a good amount of open space and just like a direct path between each other for Terrence to...
he got pylon blocked! Number
that
one.
is 2 pylons.
1!
No, he missed the first one too.
No, he didn't miss the first one, because that's why he said he was epic at putting pylons down. So yes.
Happy putting on a little show for us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, count number 1. Moving on. So we are going to see speedlings out of our Zerg player, which is kind of to be expected. I haven't seen a single PvZ where they haven't gone for speed.
We'll see how well the Eternal Dreamer's manager is at guessing. The prediction he had for this game is that Muramasa is going to go for a Speedling all-in.
Speedling all in. Well, I mean, after the first game with what was his name? Whiteless?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The very first game?
Yeah, the very first game, we saw a very standard ZVT, and then in the second game, we saw kind of I don't want to say a cheese, but definitely a more aggressive early game. So I wouldn't be surprised, since we're seeing the same matchup again, that Muramasa would tend to go for something that's a little bit more aggressive up front.
Something to also just note, for the rest of this series, the lineup for GG Kids this tournament is actually just 2 Terrans and 3 Zerg. They don't have any Protoss on their lineup.
Oh wow, huh, that's kind of interesting.
So the rest of the games will be ZV something, from what I have been told at least.
Okay, so it will be interesting to see who can take this game. I definitely like seeing Protoss games, so I'm a little biased though, so.
I want to just mention also, I don't think Happy's Pro is going to live. I noticed that Muramasa did notice that probe going across the Overlord there, and I think he couldn't find it with the lane.
Yeah, it more or less got taken. No, actually.
Probe is still up there. He didn't actually go for it. I know he saw it, or it went across the Overlord.
And the Overlord in the main is getting tickled to death. Oh, and there's another tickler coming to tickle him more.
I love tickle cannons. Like Zerg, you have no idea how much we make fun of Protoss and their tickle cannons.
Yes, our tickle cannons. So Happy moving out with his mothership core is going to get a good spot of that third base. And this is about the time where I'm like, okay, balls to the walls, 4-gate all in. Well, not all in, just hardcore pressure at the third.
Oh, but he did find that probe, so that proxy is going to be canceled, and that probe is done.
Honestly, I kind of feel like the probe would have been way better off going down and hiding at, I guess, what would be a potential fourth base.
You could stuck it in like right there.
Yeah. See, I personally, I would more so prefer, you know, kind of down. You don't have a way to interview. Okay, I'm not gonna ask questions. But yeah, down kind of like just southeast of the third base, where the third base is, kind of on that platform. Because then at least you're up high and you're kind of out of the way. Most overlords are going to be down towards the bottom of that little platform, so there isn't a whole lot you have to worry about. Now he is going to go ahead and pick off a handful of those lings, trying to get into the natural happy.
Force 3 force fields out of that.
And that is a true statement. So we'll have to see how this turns out. Now we do have roaches out on the field. Muramasa is definitely teching up to lair and moving to get out. Probably, I would assume that he's going to go Roach Hydra. You know, once you've kind of committed to the roaches, teching up to like mutas is not something you typically see, but not to say that it's not a possibility.
Playing as a Zerg, like if we see a Protoss go fast third, you take a third around like 8-9 minutes. Typically, you'll a higher level Zerg should be going into mutas.
Yeah.
Unless, like, it's hard for them to defend that. It really is. But is this standard for Protoss to have this many sentries at this time? He's got more sentries than Muramasa has Lane.
I mean, you know, personally, let's see, 2, 4, 6. He's got 8. I'd say that's a decent amount of number. I mean, that's kind of the typical number that you'd go in. You'd see like an Immortal Sentry all-in type play.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, with all of the new changes in Heart of the Swarms, that kind of has been phased out. While it's still effective, it's really easy to hold off nowadays for the Zerg player.
Going for the fast third, though. Definitely saying, you know what? You're going to need to expand to 5 bases, or we're going to be on the same account.
Okay, Ling run by, getting denied.
And Muramasa's macro really slipped there. I don't know if you saw that, but he was floating 1,400 minerals there for a moment.
Then again, he does have 15 roaches on the way, so...
He has 15 roaches on the way now. He said, you know what? We're going to commit.
Yeah, this is almost... I don't want to say, ooh, that's some really good force fields. A lot of those units get picked off for free.
Happy does have an Immortal, though, which like 2 or 3 shots at Roach, so as long as he continues to do good force fields, I don't think Muramasa is going to be able to do anything.
And wow, I'm super impressed by these force fields. I haven't really seen one that I've said, wow, that one was poorly placed, but wow, just absolutely demolishing these roaches. Holy cow. Third base is more or less going to get up relatively uncontested. I mean, you look at the units lost count, he's only lost 5 units.
Oh, and I think those were zealots.
Yeah, well, they were not.
And one was a sentry.
Yeah, one was a sentry, and then he did lose 1 probe early on. So,
and then and that's it.
Actually, I take that back. 75 of those are a pylon that got canceled.
Regardless, like
yeah.
So a pylon and 4 zealots or something like that. A 3 zealots, a probe, and a sentry. But regardless, Happy just playing that so economically strong. And that's right there, though. If Muramasa had gone into mutas, Happy wouldn't have had a chance of holding off that.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed that Happy hasn't really done anything with drop play. I really think with the buff that the Warp Prism has gotten, that's become a lot more viable option. That was a really early preemptive photon overcharge. I think that was kind of worthless.
A mistake, but he still does have plenty of energy for another one.
Oh my gosh, so awesome on those force fields. Pretty much negating
just
half.
Again,
just
you know, you're not engaging.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, literally Muramasa's just literally walking around the force fields, not doing anything, and
units lost 60 for 4,600 resources to 10 for 1,000 resources.
Yeah, this is definitely looking very one-sided. You know.
And
I'm a little worried though. Happy's been very, very passive this entire game and hasn't really committed to any pressure. You know, the Zerg player's more or less been able to get up his 4th fairly
Yeah,
unscathed.
just finished it though.
So I think Muramasa has the economy and the ability to come back, but it's going to be really hard pressed on the future engagements that he has, because those force fields are just absolutely sick.
Yeah, and he's actually making really good use of his pylons too. I don't know if you noticed that, making a small wall off there. You know, saying Zergling run-bys are not going to be nearly as effective for me.
Yeah.
For you, I have to build the pylons anyway, so I might as well just not put them in random spots and actually be effective with the fact that. Oh no, there's some lanes in the main.
Yeah. He should. I don't know when.
He's gonna lose a few probes off of that.
Yeah, he should have a couple of warp ins to deal with that. And then those links are more or less. So he probably got a couple kills with that, but nothing too terribly much.
2 probes died.
Yeah. So another run-by is now going down to the natural. I'm surprised he hasn't really moved his army at all. It's definitely good control from him. You know, not giving Muramasa really any opportunity to come in and do any damage.
Yeah.
Now, I do feel like his army's a little out of position. While he is taking that base, Muramasa's army is getting into a lot better. Okay, now he's moving back down toward there.
Yeah, I like that. Muramasa is kind of jockeying for a position, but he really has no idea where Happy's army is right now to jockey for a position.
Yeah, Muramasa doesn't quite see the drop that's coming into his main, but I think he's got a good idea that there is something coming. Because he does have some spores on the way.
Oh, lots of Zealots coming in too, and he's gonna push in and take out the 3rd at the same time.
Which is a
roaches, but
yeah, I think he really Muramasa just doesn't have a good enough position. Ooh, well, he might get a really good concave.
But he doesn't have anything to take out this Colossi.
I mean, if you look at the upgrades, though, being on +2 versus +1, 1/1 for the Zerg player, I just don't think it's enough. He's not going to be able to hold this, and Happy's just going to be able to take out this 3rd pretty much unscathed. I mean, he lost a handful of units, but nothing terribly much.
If I was Muramasa in this game, I'd really be kicking myself that I didn't get any air right now.
So we got a huge surround from Muramasa, and actually he might be able to take out some of these Colossus, which would be a very big win for him. But it doesn't look like he's gonna. He's just not.
Micro them quickly.
Yeah, he's just not focusing them down fast enough. He just needs to get in there and get rid of the Colossus as quickly as possible, because those are the big heavy hitters. I mean, 14 kills on one of them, 17 on another, 16.
It's so hard to take out Colossi though when they have Thermal Lance and you have roaches.
Yeah,
it is really difficult.
I mean, the Spire is down, so he could have made some corruptors, but it's like he just overcommitted to roaches and hydras and wasn't able to push through.
And yeah, he missed the timing because he missed half of the timing units. Like, he needed those corruptors.
Yeah. So that very interesting game. Haffy taking another one. Only one more win for Haffy, and Eternal Dreams will move on with this clan war.
Yeah.